Okay, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 1408 and Doubleshot number 1302. I have two trades here from James Robinson. Everybody thinking, how'd you get your hands on two trades by him? Well, it's two trades from Marvel Comics. Alright, first up is a book that's actually was his longest book he ever did for Marvel. The second volume for that trade series, Fantastic Four Volume 2 Original Sin. Collecting issues 6 through 10 of, I think this was Fantastic Four Volume 5. Yes. Now, the Original Sin thing for this one, apparently Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm remembers, he finds out that Johnny Storm was responsible for his mutation. Not into the thing. No. It was the other mutation, basically done way back in Fantastic Four number 40. Yeah, he responsible for it. They lied to beat the crap out of him for it. And he says, make everything, don't speak to him again. That simple, that. Yeah, it doesn't really leave much of anything at all. Yeah, for a tie-in to Original Sin, that revelation, it doesn't really reveal much of anything at all. It felt like a bit of a very much a flat, like, okay, so Johnny Storm just messed around with some scientific device that messed up Ben Grimm. Which Johnny Storm, he himself regrets doing that. And he doesn't mind taking a beating from Ben Grimm for doing that, but yeah. He just basically does that. Now, as for the main stuff, we have Reed and Sue trying to go home, except they can't. Yes, because of some stupid ruling made without their knowledge. Well, apparently they can't even go to their house. Oh yeah, they say they can't go to certain floors of their home, but they can't even go get their own stuff, their own personal belongings. And Sue and fighting the Avengers over this. I agree. Yeah, this whole thing sounds really fishy. Where somehow an amended injunction against them was filed right after they left the courtroom. I'm like, really? That sounds so very suspicious. And also, apparently S.H.I.E.L.D. has been ordered to destroy Dragon Man. Yes, Dragon Man. So, Human Torch, the Jim Hammond Human Torch, finds out about this. So, he pretty much breaks out Dragon Man, takes him back takes him back to Camp Ham, which is his facility. Maria Hill is like, that's fine. I'll basically put in public knowledge that he's been destroyed. Just keep it on public sight. And Jim was like, fine. Of course, Jim Hammond himself also gets a chance to talk to Susan Stone to calm her down. And you probably think, okay, so Giants doesn't have his powers anymore. Ben Grimm is doing his own thing. What's happened to Richards? Oh yeah, and also, the other thing aside from the fact that she attacked Avengers over not allowing her to get her own home, but because they took away her children, which, yeah, I agree. This whole thing, taking away her children, was an absolute stupid idea, and even in story. Yes. Which, because I remember from the previous trade that Sue Storm, when she saw the woman from Child Services, which was going to take away her children, I think Sue was ready to kill her because she was daring to take away her children. And then she basically vents her rage against her own friends, the Avengers. Though she was able to stop, and as far as I can... Now, apparently they said, oh yeah, some kind of class B, okay, since when are the Avengers the government's watchdogs? Since when did they take orders from the government to basically blockade the Fantastic Four? Heck, even Jim Hammond basically is very suspicious of somebody is trying to disassemble, trying to ruin the reputation of Fantastic Four on purpose. It's not developed here, but who the person behind it, they actually don't reveal that until the renumbered issues. And who it is a complete forgettable guy. Yep. So, where do Reed and Sue end up? On this place near Lake Michigan, of all places. Yes, this is above Lake Michigan. It's this artificial facility built in the middle of Lake Michigan. And it's called Eden. Basically, Reed's doing scientific discoveries. What Sue is up to here? No idea. Yeah, and also, apparently, because her children were taken away from her, she's not allowed to see her own children. Wow, that is so stupid. Like, oh my gosh. I would not be surprised if Sue Storm basically fought that. We also have Johnny Storm acting like a big party guy. He also was told because apparently he lost his powers, his tour is canceled. I would think they would postpone it because I'm sure his power loss is temporary. But canceling the tour just because his basically his agent got a new person, that is stupid. Someone named Radiance. Yes. Oh yeah, basically he's chastised by Wyatt Wagfoot over his party boy nonsense going a little under control. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. Yep. But I still enjoy this. Give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. Now Lennon Kirk himself is the artist for about first 3 issues in here, 6 to 8. The last 2 of them are Mark Leeming. The cover art here is mostly done by Leonard Kirk. Yep. Yeah. Oh. You might find this interesting, though, about the Riddles and tie-ins. Like, I have pretty much covered almost all of them. Yes, I seriously have. Like, what is left? Original Sins, the Deadpool tie-in. Yes, the Deadpool tie-in. I've not covered this one. And Hulk vs. Iron Man, which that one I will cover. So once I cover that, I have 2 more tie-ins left, and I'll be done with this one. Yes. It's almost kind of the same thing with Access, where I pretty much covered like everything for that one, except for like 1 book, which is a mini-series. Yep. So yeah. So next up is another James Harper section. It's the start of a book. Also, this book is something in common with this one. It has like 2 books that this is Squadron Supreme, Volume 1, By Any Means Necessary. This is from Squadron Supreme, Volume 4, Issues 1 through 5, and the story from Avengers number 0. Yes, James Harper is the writer here. Yeah, he pretty much brings in Leonard Kirk as artist Fantastic Four in this book, which kudos for him doing that. Oh, by the way, the cover for this trade here, the back cover and the covers for the interior covers for the individual issues are all done by Alex Ross. Now, this Squadron Supreme is different. It's not like one team for one universe. Oh no, this is multiple different people. Okay, Hyperion himself is from Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run. Obviously, we have Dr. Spectrum from the Great Society. She's from New Avengers. Now, you probably recognize Nighthawk, those of you fans of JMS's Supreme Power stuff. Yes, that is Kyle Raymond, who is black, and is from Squadron Supreme. Blur is actually from DP7. Now, you're probably thinking, what the heck is DP7? It was a series done back in the 80s by Jim Shooter as part of his New Universe imprint that turned out to be one of Marvel's biggest financial disasters of the 80s. Yeah, it bombed heavily. And almost all the books got canceled of like 1 year, except for like Justice. Yep. We also have, you probably think, that's Power Apprentice. Now, they assume this is actually from the very first Ultimate Squadron Supreme. But no, she's actually from this. That's where she's from. And they also have one member joining the team. We also have, apparently one of the team is Thundera. Yes, Thundera is part of the roster. And she starts a brief romance with Hyperion, which continues in his own brief solo book by Chuck Winding. Which book got canceled after only just 6 issues. Which even I was surprised the book got canceled that quickly. Yep. Now, what they do is they do this. Okay, so the squadron come together, and the first thing they do, they buy Oracle Incorporated. The Oracle Corporation. And you'll probably scratch your head. Now, I mentioned this group once before when I talked about Shang-Chi's book. Shang-Chi, the Master Martial Artist, when I talked about the last 2 issues of John S. Morris' Heroes for Hire book. The company Oracle was started by Namor the Submariner. It was financed by him. The company at the end of Heroes for Hire was sold to Stark Fujiwara, which the Heroes for Hire all quit because they apparently didn't want... Because apparently the guy who was supposed to be their liaison didn't want Luke Cage and Ant-Man on the team because they're ex-cons. Who freaking cares? And plus, Luke Cage wasn't an ex-con at the point. He got a pardon for his crimes. Look, Scott Lang still has it, but Luke Cage is basically a legit man. Yep, so they buy that. And why did they buy the... Now, here's something quite interesting about this book. None of the other books bring this up post-Secret Wars. This is the only book that brings it up. The Squadron Supreme remember the stuff that happened before Secret Wars. With the whole thing, the multiverse being destroyed. And the first thing they do is they attack Atlantis and they kill Namor. Well, Hyperion kills him. Now, you probably would think that Dr. Spectrum, basically, she would kill him because he blew up her world. No, it was, well, Hyperion. Hyperion also brought up, he also mentioned in the pages in the Avengers Zero issue, he also brought up what's going on in New Avengers by Al Ewing. Kudos. Which I do appreciate James Robinson referencing that. And they killed Namor in the first issue. Here's something I thought was really, really dumb when this issue came out 6 years ago. Like, this revelation they're going to kill off Namor in the first issue, it was leaked. Yes, it was leaked. I'm not sure who the heck leaked this thing. Like Mike, the rumor is that Marvel themselves leaked this thing just so we can buy this book. I mean, if I had money back then, if I had the money back, I would have bought this book when it was coming out. Because, well, I was planning on reading this book when it came out because, one, I like Squadron Supreme, and two, I'm a fan of James Robinson. Yep. Now, right after they kill Namor, they're confronted by the Unity Squad. Now you're probably thinking, is this Rick Remender's lineup, or is this Gary Duggan's lineup? It's Gary Duggan's lineup. They fight them, and then they end up in Weird World. Yes, Weird World. Where they run into Thundera and Archon. Yes, which means this takes place right after the Secret Wars tie-ins to the Weird World book, which I haven't... I'm still planning on getting the trade that collects the very brief ongoing series that was Weird World Volume 2. And there's nods in here to the original Weird World stuff, where they have the little kids from the original Weird World stuff when it was run by Doug Long back in the 70s, which was really good to throw that in here. And Thunder brought them here because they're basically on the run from the government. That was really the whole point of that. But this book is actually really good, and I highly recommend if you are fans of James Robinson, you would really enjoy this. Though you have to be reading basically a few books basically part of this. You have to pretty much be reading Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers to understand the purpose of this book, or what some of these characters came from. Now, a good reading material for Nighthawk is simply the Supreme Power series, which was 18 issues, his own mini-series, and his first Hyperion. Though, this Hyperion didn't fight him. This is the Jonathan Hickman version, where he was sole survivor of his world. Yep. And the thing with Hyperion, I should point out, that he's a pastiche for Superman. Nighthawk, Batman. Dr. Prism, the Green Lantern. Blur, the Flash. Power Princess, Wonder Woman. Yep. By the way, in the original, they even have a pastiche for Green Arrow and Black Canary. Yeah. But this book, really, really good. Give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. And I can't wait to get my hands on the next books, these two. Because I think for Volume 2 for Squadron, I believe it's a Civil War II tie-in, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the case of Fantastic Four, because Original Sin happened, do they tie into Access? Surprisingly, no. They don't tie into Access, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's more like their own thing. But my only guess is the reason why Hickman basically did that, because it's basically just a expanded some Fantastic Four history. Yep. But yeah, that's a particular view. Next one. More trades. One from Green Arrow. Yes, and because this one's will be kind of surprising for a lot of people. And the other one is a cosmic trade. You'll find what it is next video, okay? To the video. Bye. Come on, seriously, I gotta do it.